Hello. So in today's video, I want to talk to you more about the concepts that I talked about in episode 118 of Confidence Coaching with Heidi Benjaminson, staying out of other people's lanes. So in episode number 2, which I'll put a link to in this video or at the end of the video in the notes, I talk about what the different lanes are in life. We have our lane, other people's lanes, and then God's lane. And in today's video, I want to really specifically talk about what is in our lane and then what is in our teenagers' lanes. Okay. So listen to episode 118. That gives you really, really good concepts of how to get out of other people's lanes, which is where we act like control manipulating freaks and we have no control over those things, and how to get back into our lane. So I give you fantastic questions to do that. But in this video, I want to get really specific so you can see this is what I am responsible for. And this is what I need to now let my child be responsible for and let them have control over their lane. The more that we reflect confidence that other people can do a good job of what they need to do, that energy that we project, it makes a difference and it helps us just show up in a much better way. So let's go through this here. In our lane, which this is the only place where we do have control, we are responsible for loving our teenagers or for loving anyone we want to, but especially our children. Our job is to love them. We're not responsible for if they love us back. We are responsible for, do we have the capacity to love them? We're responsible to teach them. We're not responsible for what they do with those teachings. Our job is to teach and to teach the things that are our values or the things that we want to teach them. Again, they get to choose, and it's because of their lens, it's because of their capabilities. Can they feel the love that we have for them? Do they have the capacity to then grow and take the things that we're teaching them? Our job in our lane is to support them. Maybe we want them to do things in music or athletics or like whatever it is. Our job is to support and to guide. It is not to do those things for them. Their lane is to figure out, what am I going to do? Am I going to work to whatever capacity I have in this music or in this sports or like whatever it is? That is their lane. Our job is to support and to guide. Now, another thing in our lane is we want to be a good example. And so, what that means is when I'm trying to get out of other people's lanes, maybe I get really frustrated because they're acting a certain way. Maybe they're being rude, they're being whatever. My job is to get back and realize, how am I showing up? What kind of example am I? What tone of voice am I using? Am I talking kindly about these people? How am I showing respect to them? I often hear, this child isn't respecting me. Am I respecting them? That's the only place I have control. I do not have control over their tone of voice. I don't have control over their actions or their reactions. Our job is to get back and realize, do I like how I'm showing up? That's going to be the model that they see. And this is the only place I have control. So again, do I like how I'm showing up? That's my job. That's where I need to take my full responsibility. Now, the next thing, it's my responsibility also to make mistakes. Our children see that we're trying. So in my lane and my responsibility is not to be perfect. It's not to be flawless. That's not what my children need. They need to see me making mistakes and me fixing potholes in my lane. They need to see how I overcome obstacles. They need to see it's okay to apologize. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be really good at certain things, and that's okay. That's the example that they see. So I need to be less concerned with the mistakes that they're making. I need to let them make mistakes. And I need to be way more concerned. Do I honor the fact that I need to be learning and growing and trying and making mistakes? Again, that is an example and a model that they really need to see. Okay, the next thing in my lane is I need to manage my emotions. Okay, our teenagers have hormones going through their bodies. They have other things going on that, like, thank heavens, we don't have going on anymore. My job is to be anchored and to be to be calm, and maybe like whatever it is, I need to be in charge of that. Now, on default, my brain's going to want to get angry if they're being angry. It's my job to show up in a way with the emotions, with a tone of voice that is consistent with who I want to be. So again, I need to be less concerned. Our children probably have a really good reason for being angry if they're angry at something. Okay. We might not like it, but we need to honor that their emotions are coming from something that they are thinking and from the lens that they're seeing the world at. We're not creating their anger. We're not creating their disrespect. We're not creating their anxiety, but we do have the capacity in our lane to not show up really anxious. We have the capacity, and it's our responsibility to manage our stress, to manage our anxieties. Again, for ourselves, we need to then project confidence that they can handle those things in their lane. Again, maybe in our lane is to hire a therapist to help them get help. But our responsibility is not to manage that. It is just to guide and support. And again, make sure we like how we are showing up, because we don't have control over what is inside their lane. Okay, our job is to validate ourselves. We cannot look to a hormonal teenager to tell us if we're doing a good job. Our lane is to make sure I like me. I know I'm doing a good job. I know I'm making some mistakes, but that's okay. That's what I am supposed to do. And I'm going to keep on trying. And these mistakes don't mean anything bad about me. They don't mean anything bad about my child's future. My job is to validate myself. It's so common to look to our children and their actions and like, oh, am I doing a good job? That will always create insecurity in us. We will show up. That's when we then can become like kind of control freaks. And I see it, like I can get into my kid's lane like that, and I have to quickly get back and realize, no, wait, hold on a second. My job is to like me. My job is to validate that what I'm doing feels good to me at that moment. And if I get more information, maybe I will change what I do in the future. This is the biggest place where we can just drown in insecurity. If we're looking to a hormonal, dysregulated person for our self-esteem and to validate if we're doing a good job, that we don't want to be doing that. And so that's where we get into their lane and we have to quickly get back into our lane. Again, listen to episode 118 for more questions to ask yourself to get back into your lane. The last thing, and there's other things that you might specifically really find is your responsibility. It's our job to know what our needs are. It's our job to take care of, like if I know I need more sleep, that's my job, not my teen's job to do. Like whatever I feel like I am needing as a person, as a woman, as a mother, all of that is my job to understand that. It's not anyone else's job to understand what my needs are. Okay. And that might mean that I ask for help. I don't want other people to, they might not know all of the potholes or the obstacles in my lane, just like when we're driving on the road, right? It's my responsibility to ask for help. Now, our teenagers, again, I've gone through very much what are the things in their lane. They need to know it's okay to make mistakes. They're going to have potholes. They need to start learning, how do I deal with the weaknesses and the strengths that I have? They are going to push boundaries. They are hormonal. They are going to act out in these things. Nothing has gone wrong. We might not like it, but that's just because we have to learn to get back in our lane and we have to be emotionally anchored to know how to respond to them. It's their job to learn and to grow, to take the things that we are helping them with, the things that we're doing in our lane. They have the responsibility, and it's their results that they create in their life with whatever they choose to do with what we and the world are providing them. They have to manage their emotions, their anger, their excitement, all of that is coming from their thoughts and it's coming from their lens. It's not coming from us. We want to help them and we want to be that model so they can learn how all of that looks. They have to like themselves. They're having a hard enough time liking themselves to carry the emotional bags of liking us as well. Let's let them in their lane manage? Do I like myself? Am I okay with myself, even with this acne or with what this person said to me? We don't want to pile on top of that. Oh, and my mom is now feeling really insecure because I now made this mistake. That's baggage we do not want to put on their shoulders. And they also, in their lane, it's very mature for us to then let them ask for help, for them to talk to us about problems and to just talk, and for us to not jump in with solutions. And then when they need help, they can ask for help. If we're doing what we feel is right in our lane, they will feel comfortable to then come and ask us for help. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you to then really see what the two differences are. And again, we're going to be swerving, right? Like that's just what our brains kind of do. We want to, as much as possible, be getting back into our lane and just be like, who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? Like, what do I need here? What am I maybe not seeing? Remember the third lane that I haven't put on here, though, that is God's lane. That is where like the magic of how the universe all comes together and all of the weaknesses and strengths that our children have and that they are developing, and how other people are going to come into their lives and are going to help and are going to teach them, right? There's all this other magic that's kind of going on. And remember, the more we are safely in our lane, the less accidents we cause, and also the calmer and the more peaceful we can feel. If you want help doing this for yourself with personalized one-on-one coaching, make sure you sign up for a consult call. I will put the link. It's on my website, and I will make sure I put it here in the video notes. You are worth it. Your kids need to see you working on your lane. Okay, then they will know it's okay to work on their lane. Okay.